Okay, so you've definitely heard this instrument before, probably a million times without even realizing it. It has this sound you just can't mistake, and honestly, a surprisingly epic story. Today, we're diving deep into the world of the oboe.
So picture this. You're sitting in a concert hall, the lights go down, the conductor walks out, and before any music starts, you hear this one single, super clear note that cuts through all the chatter. And suddenly, every single instrument, from the violins to the giant tubas, starts tuning to that one sound. Have you ever wondered what instrument is that?
You guessed it, or maybe you didn't. That's the oboe. It's the orchestra's official tuning leader. Before anyone plays a single bar of the symphony, the oboe steps up and sets the pitch for literally everyone. It's kind of like the team captain calling the first play. Pretty important job, right? So, what gives the oboe that really unique, kind of piercing, but also beautiful voice? Well, to get that, we've got to look under the hood and see how this thing actually works. Okay, this little thing right here, this is the secret sauce. It's called a double reed. Now, this is not like any other instrument. You're not just blowing air into a hole. These are two tiny, super thin pieces of wood, cane, actually, tied together. Think of it like a custom voice modulator for the instrument. When the player blows air through it, those two pieces of cane vibrate against each other like crazy, and that's what creates that signature, buzzy, almost duck-like sound that can cut through an entire orchestra.
So, how do you turn that little reed into actual music? It's a whole process. First, the player has to soak the reed in water just to get it ready. Then comes something called the embouchure, which is just a fancy word for the super specific way they have to shape their lips around the reed. After all that, they have to blow a perfectly steady stream of air while their fingers are doing gymnastics on the keys. Seriously, it takes a ton of control and lung power.
But the oboe wasn't always just the orchestra's tuning fork. Oh no, it had a whole superstar era. We're talking a journey from some pretty wild and loud ancestors all the way to becoming a legit solo artist. You can actually track its whole evolution. It started way back in medieval times as this instrument called the shawm. Think of it as the oboe's super loud, kind of obnoxious ancestor that you'd hear at outdoor festivals. Then, in the 17th century, it got a major glow-up in France and became the oboe we know. By the 1700s, it was a full-on rock star, getting all the best solos. And now today, it's that essential, respected voice in the modern orchestra. What a career arc.
So, why was it such a big deal back then? This quote pretty much nails it. Composers in the Baroque era heard the oboe and were like, whoa, that thing can sing. Its sound was so close to a human voice. It could sound happy or incredibly sad, so it was the perfect instrument to carry the main melody and pack a real emotional punch.
And just how popular are we talking? Get this. The famous composer Antonio Vivaldi wrote over 30 concertos just for the oboe. That's like your favorite pop star dropping an entire album, and then another one, all featuring the same guest artist. The oboe wasn't just in the band. For a while, it was the main event. All right, so after its big solo career, what happened? Did the oboe just fade away? Not at all. It evolved. It became the ultimate team player in the modern orchestra. So today, the oboe really has two big jobs. Every now and then, it gets to step back into the spotlight and be the soloist, with its voice soaring over everyone else. But most of the time, it's a team player, blending in with the flutes and clarinets, adding this incredible color and emotional texture to the music. It can lead, and it can support. Best of both worlds. And get this, the oboe doesn't fly solo. It's part of a whole crew. Think of it like a character select screen in a video game. First, you've got the standard oboe, our main hero. Then you can pick the English horn, which is like its bigger, more chill cousin with a deeper voice. There's also the oboe d'amore, the oboe of love, which was a huge favorite back in the Baroque era. And if you want to go really low, you can select the bass oboe, the deep-voiced giant of the family. Okay, so playing the oboe is one thing, but what separates a good player from a great one? Let's talk about the special moves, the techniques that pro players use to totally level up their game. So pros have a whole bag of tricks. There's vibrato. That's that little wobble you hear on a long note that just makes it sound so much more emotional. It's like an Instagram filter for sound. Then you've got trills, which is just switching between two notes at lightning speed. For really fast passages, they use a speed boost technique called double tonguing. And finally, articulation, which is all about how they shape the notes. Are they going to be short and punchy or long and smooth? It all adds up to a totally pro sound. So, what's the one thing you got to remember from all this?
Here it is. The oboe is way more than just a funny sound. It's the orchestra's lead singer, an instrument with a history as a solo superstar that's now also one of the most important team players in the game.
So the next time you're listening to an orchestra, whether it's in a concert hall or just in a movie soundtrack, listen for it. When you hear that one clear note right at the beginning, now you'll know the whole story behind it. So the real question is, what story will you hear in its voice?